Of course, a lot of you know her as vice mayor and longtime council member, also state rep, and now running for county commissioner.
Yeah, thank you, and I apologize. We're early voting, and that is a big passion of mine, is getting as many people out to exercise their right to vote. As indicated, my name is Alicia Reese, born and raised here in Cincinnati, and very proud of it, but Cincinnati inside of Hamilton County. And one of the reasons I'm running is because I'd like to see us unite as one Hamilton County, no city versus the county. I know you're tired of hearing about that. I certainly am. We're only stronger when we actually work together. So some of my background, I'm a proud Cincinnati Public School graduate. I graduated from Withrow High School International Studies Academy. It was a new program with the Cincinnati Public Schools. Grew up on the west side on Montana Avenue. Went to Mount Airy because of this new program. Then had to go forward to the Cincinnati Bilingual Academy, which was on Short Vine at the time. And then to finish out, I went to Withrow High School on the east side of town. I caught 2 metro buses in order to get to school and get home each day. What I found in growing up, I'm glad, because as you know, in Cincinnati, the east and the west hardly ever cross. But what I found is that on the east side and the west side, they all had one thing in common. They wanted good, safe environments to raise a family, be able to have their kids go on and do even better, and have seniors to be able to retire here and be able to take care of themselves. And so that was a unique experience for me to understand how, even though we lived on opposite sides of town, we all had the same vision. I went on to, was recruited to go to Brown University, and I decided that I wanted to go to Grambling State University, a historically black college in the South, down in Louisiana. And when I got down there, I'm going to hit you 2 things that really have changed my life and my thinking. One was when I went down to Louisiana and David Duke ran for governor. And at that time I said, man, I'm a college student, do I really got to get involved? But when he ran for governor, I said, I got to get involved. And so we put together Grambling State Historically Black College and Louisiana Tech white students, and we came together and we said we got to defeat hate. And the way we do it is we register and we vote. And so that's why college ID matters to me. And that changed my thought pattern about we must be involved. And so anyway, I graduated with a degree in communications, mass communications, minor in Spanish. Came back to Cincinnati, where many of my friends did it. It was a time when this area, young people were going to other places because they said that's where we can excel. I said, no, 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 this is our city, our region, we can do it here. And so I was recruited to work for David Mann, who was the congressman at that time, and I became the director of outreach, community outreach for the 1st Congressional District. I learned how to take big bills in Washington and break them down to 3 talking points. I then led a Get Out to Vote effort. At that time, Roxanne Qualls was running for Congress, and Mark Mallory was running for state senator. And he had asked, hey, I want you to be involved. We got to take that seat back at the state. So we were able to win that state Senate seat. And then I moved on. Congresswoman Maxine Waters came to town, and she actually is the one that recruited me to run for office. I had no idea of thinking about running for office. I was going to go make some money and maybe be Oprah and have my own media company. But she said, you need to be involved. And so they were going to close the health clinics. And I'm happy to be back at this group because many people at this group, we stood up when everybody else was saying, forget about the city health clinics. And that's what charged me to run for office. It was purpose. And so I ran for office, and many people said we couldn't do it. You can't be young, you can't be a female, and be African American, and don't have all the money. There's no way you can win. Well, we proved them wrong. We came together as a city, and not only did we win, but we changed the trajectory so now that more young people can participate. We helped start YP programs and at the Urban League, and now YP programs that we have now in the Chamber of Commerce. So we just didn't run for office, we changed the trajectory, and we kept the city clinics open. They're still open to this day. I went on to become the vice mayor of Cincinnati. We had some tough issues that we had to deal with. And then I went on to become the deputy director of tourism for the state of Ohio, recruited by then Governor Ted Strickland. He said, hey, if you could sell Cincinnati, I'd like you to sell Ohio. So I went to all 88 counties, rural Ohio, urban Ohio, and I had to sell Ohio and bring us together. And it brought in $100 million of economic impact and jobs throughout the state. I also wrote the tax credits, tax credit rules for the first tax credits that we had. So I want you to kind of know about that. My point to all of this, the next thing that changed my life is when I got the call to speak at the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Dr. King stood and gave the famous I Have a Dream speech. Right before the speech, they gutted the Voting Rights Act. I said, oh my God, how dare they? And so I gave a speech where Dr. King stood, and that was the day I went from position to purpose. And I gave a speech that no more temporary solutions to permanent problems. It's time to make Dr. King's dream real and make it permanent. I came back and started a voter bill of rights to protect our vote in the constitutions around states across the country. We registered voters, we had people that volunteered, we trained 1,200 people all over the state, including Hamilton County. We got over 100,000 signatures. We went to the Democratic Convention. I was on the platform drafting committee. I wasn't just there. I actually helped draft the plan. The plan on voting rights, as well as the plan on justice reform. We got the voter bill of rights in it. Michigan put a similar model on the ballot. It was passed last year. I was also the DNC vice chair of the convention as well. I say all that to say that now, as I'm running for Hamilton County Commissioner, we're going into a new decade. When I ran for council, we were going into a new vision and a new decade. We've got a great opportunity, but it's only a moment that we have this opportunity. And I believe that with my experiences representing the entire city, and then being a state representative where they redrew my lines not once but twice. They gave me Norwood, they gave me Deer Park, I won those areas, gave me Silverton, plus half of the city we won. Then also they redrew it and gave me Springfield Township, they gave me Arlington Heights, they gave me Lockland and Woodlawn and Lincoln Heights, and we won those areas. I've been on the Finance Committee at the state in the minority. I've been the president of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus. When I went in, only 13 members were African Americans. When I came out, I did a 7-city tour in 2 days. We went into areas where Donald Trump won. We put African Americans up to run, and they won those positions. And now we have 17, I believe, in the Ohio General Assembly. I have the ability to get things done. I can work also across the aisles when necessary without compromising what my core values are. I've been able to get an infrastructure project done with transportation. That's a big issue. I-71, when you get off on the Martin Luther King Highway exit, there's a project slated for 35 years from now. I got it done within 7 years through a negotiation with a Republican governor who I never had voted for. The casinos, as you know, we built it. It was a hole. It stopped. I was able to negotiate and get it over that impasse, not only to get our casino back going, but around the state, and then have a job fair at the Community Action Agency to get people connected. Our county has an opportunity to have a vision where we could be number one. 49 municipalities coming together to get things done. I'm pushing the census so that we can get more resources. I'm pushing jobs and family services. We've got a new leadership that's going to be there. We've got to make sure that's the safety net of our county. We get the wrong person, the wrong leadership, where are we going to go if jobs and family services not aligned? So I've got those issues and more. I'm running for Hamilton County Commissioner. I won 7 elections, thanks to many of you in this room. But I'm running because the time is right to get things done. And I'll be honest with you, I can't sit back with the guy up in Washington and not know that I got in the fight to try to make sure that he gets out of that office, but we get some help to everyday people. Thank you.